Yes, all of that came out of this rug. What you just saw were pet stains and a little bit of dye. I'm going to be cleaning this rug and I'll give you some information as you watch. Yes, some of that dye did bleed into the fringe and I messed the rug up, which I'll show you at the end of the video, but for now, just watch along. You'll be watching a series of wetting, scrubbing, squeegeeing, and power washing. This is all part of the process to clean a rug, and there's a few other various things that I'm doing that I'm not going to show you because they're irrelevant to the video, but they're important to me because this rug had crocking, which is over dye or loose dye in a rug, and it can be very problematic if you don't know what you're doing. So it's basically just a chemistry thing that I'll be doing that I'm not going to be showing you or really talking about, but it is in this video to some degree so that I don't totally ruin the rug and only ruin it a little bit. You will also notice as I work on this rug, it's going to get progressively worse. Meaning, like when I start out now, I'm just kind of rinsing surface dirt off. It's not a big deal. But as I clean, I scrub, I power wash, I'm going to be breaking away layers of dirt. And as I get deeper and deeper, I'm exposing more dirt. So you'll see the water coming off of the rug get darker and darker as I work. Then all the way at the end, when I put it into my drying machine, my Centrifuge, which is the little bit of video that you saw right at the beginning, that's the water that gets spit out of the machine as the rug gets spun. Initially, there's a lot of dog stains coming out, and then later in the video, you'll see the loose dye coming out, which is where the problem arose. Anyway, watch the video for a little bit. It's really good, and I'll chime back in later as I need to towards the end of the video. Thanks. Oh, and as you see some of this water coming off, there's also some oils, body oils and things of that nature. And you can see in the water there how it's kind of coagulating or separating as oil and water would do typically. With this being about a 30 or 40-year-old rug, and it had not been cleaned in, well, I don't really know how long. And the owner of the rug now, because it was a family heirloom and someone passed away and it got passed down, they don't know when the last time it was cleaned either. You're going to see some of the broken fibers that are kind of coming off of this rug into the water. It's totally normal because you get sand and grit in these rugs and they act like little knives cutting the fibers, and a regular vacuum is only going to get so much of that out because it gets really impacted. Then I come through, and when I'm cleaning, I'm breaking off all the rest of that last bit of loose split end wool fiber into the water, and it gets washed out. So I'm flipping the rug and I'm going to do the backside, and this is where a lot of the dirt is held. So right after I do this, when I flip it over, is really when the rug starts to turn. The water really gets really dirty and more of the dye starts to get released from the fibers after I flip it over. And there's some more of those broken fibers down in the right-hand side. It's also a lot of dog hair because of that stuff gets kind of intertwined to the knots on the back of the rug. And, you know, nobody ever vacuums the backside of their rug. So it's a little bit of a mixture of those two things. Here we go. Now you can really see what this rug has been holding on to for so long. It's a mixture of general house dirt, body oils. There's some pet stains in there. And then there's a little bit of dye mixed in there, but you don't really see the dye release until it's in the centrifuge and it's coming out into the wastewater. So I'm just going to clean the floor and get it prepped and ready so that I don't have any of that dirty water going back onto the rug. That sheet that I put down, we call it a diaper, and it does just that. It basically absorbs the dye that's loose when I put it in the centrifuge. Otherwise, we get something called stamping or tattooing, which is just the ink that gets spun from the center towards the outside of the rug. I mean, this thing's spinning at like, I don't know, 2,000, 2,500, maybe 1,500. I don't really know how fast it's spinning, but it's fast. And it's forcing water and dye to go outward. And if there's too much of this dye, then it'll stamp on the next layer so that sheet really blocks it. Here's the dye. This is where I got in trouble because I wasn't expecting to have this much of it. So I got done, I pulled it out, and I'm going to show you a little bit on the fringe what happened, where I got some of that stamping. And then really at the end, I'm going to show you the sheet, and you'll see the dye that's loose in the sheet. There's the fringe that got damaged, which I had to correct afterwards, but the majority of this is in this sheet order. I'm going to show you in just a second.
Look at this.
Fortunately, I didn't get a great shot of it, but here's a little bit. Thanks for watching.